Hey guys, what's up? It's the Pizza Cat. I finished Diablo 4's Battle Pass up to tier 90, and I thought that'd be interesting to give a first impressions video on my raw thoughts, because a lot of people have been asking because it's been out for a few days, and they're like, should I be doing it? Should I be jumping back in? And I do say that this is a first impressions video, even though I did get to tier 90 the Battle Pass, because I'm still not in World Tier 4. It's hard for me to imagine a game being more irritating than Diablo 4's first season has been. Irritating is definitely the operating word, the big word that I'd choose to describe it if I only had one. Diablo 4, Season of the Annoying Tedious Chores, infuriating wait times for garbage to spawn, and an almost impenetrable walls of items, stash, loot, inventory bullshit. But hold on a second. Before you think that I'm just trying to hate on the game, I'm really not, and that I do not take back anything that I just said. I am not trying to sidestep or backstep or whatever from what I just said. I 100% stand by it. But as someone who has friends that work at Blizzard as a part of my real life career as a software dev, I'm far from just trying to fling shit at it. I genuinely want to see these things hopefully improve for the game and for the game to improve. The first major criticism that I have to say is the Battle Pass cosmetics are not good. Actually, I'm going to extend that to all cosmetics in Diablo 4 are not good. I like the baseline cosmetics a lot more than anything I've seen in the shop, anything in the Battle Pass. But focusing on the Battle Pass, you're telling me as a company that you want me to buy the product, this Battle Pass, and shop items. You're going to have to try a lot harder than this. I bought the Battle Pass because I explicitly promised people I'd give the season a shot, and I really do try my best to hold up to any promise I make. And, well, I did that, in spite of looking through the Battle Pass before and being like, I don't like a single thing in here. And I can firmly say, after completing the Battle Pass, that I am mind-bogglingly uninterested in anything in here. Maybe the Necromancer scythe is cool, but again, I'm buying a Battle Pass and unlocking it cool? No. I'm not backtracking. No is my answer to that, and that might sound aggressive, but I'm trying to make it clear. The Battle Pass is a major fail to me, personally. I do genuinely feel that it wasn't worth using the accelerated Battle Pass on. Not a single item in there. That sounds harsh, but it really isn't meant to be. It's just me trying to be truthful. Let's extend that now to the shop. If you want to make money, start throwing some skin. Put the equivalent of Final Fantasy XIV's Type 2B leggings in for all classes, male and female. I really haven't once felt the urge to buy something from the shop. I really don't know what to say more than that. It's just like, if you had a barbarian male in Type 2B leggings, I'd probably be playing that right now. But you don't, so alas, I guess Blizzard doesn't want my money. Second thing is really specific to the season, is that there are so many different things to slow you down. Like, even during the NPC interactions during the quest, like this Cormand dude literally will not get anything done. He will just walk around, not be intractable, and I remember looking and glaring at my screen going, oh my god, am I going to be able to click this dude anytime soon? But it got even worse when it came to collecting the hearts, which the heart is the major mechanic of this season, and I began actually aggressively sighing when I listened back to footage, which I am going to opt to not play here, but I began to aggressively sigh when it came to collecting the hearts. It was like, really? Because you need to click the heart, and then it slowly, like, it takes its sweet ass time animating downward. It animates a slow ass circle, slow enough that you could literally take a bathroom break, drop a deuce, and then you could literally come back. And then a pointless trivial monster spawns that I can down in a like fifth or a quarter of the time that it took to spawn, and then I'm like, sweet, now I get to loot a heart that takes an inventory slot, and yay, and shit, and why is my inventory so bad? We'll get to that later. So the major main mechanic of this supposed new fresh draw for the season is painfully slow. One more thing. I told you, if you make me do Renown again, I'd be pissed. I tried to convince myself to do it, and I got through 3 maps until I broke and I stopped. Imagine that. I said that I'd be pissed, and it turns out that is exactly what happened. People say Renown is fine under the argument that you just need to do it to level, which is what I did to level. That, however, is not a completely true statement, because there are simply way too many dungeons and way too many side quests that you need to check off basically going down the grocery list, check, that you're gonna hit a wall in World Tier 3, where I'm at now, where they are literally a useless grind. They are literally just a chore. In World Tier 3, past level 60, the normal dungeon mobs stay around level 55 enemies, meaning that they are utterly meaningless, emotionless chores, no challenge to them, no experience gain, you're just doing chores for Paragon points. And you can't really say, oh, you could just target farm them with nightmare dungeons. No, have you ever gotten a sigil for a, like, nightmare dungeon? You can't target fire with them. I do not enjoy the Renown grind for Paragon points, because on one hand, those points genuinely improve your power, making leveling significantly faster, because you do get serious power there, especially at big nodes. But do you want to grind them to make yourself level faster, but you get no experience from them and it's a tedious chore? Why am I having to make this choice? I look one way and there's crap in my salad. I look another way and there's more crap in a salad. What? How is this supposed to feel good? The fourth thing is that inventory is a brutal, painful, mind-boggling disaster, and I mean every word of that. In fact, I could probably say a lot more words and get a lot more colorful with that statement. That is probably the nicest way I can put it. Brutal, painful, mind-boggling, mind-blowing disaster. No, I'm not going to listen to some idiot tell me that this is a part of the game that I should look forward to. I do not care how many subscribers you have. Okay, dude, I'm sorry that my brain is not only smaller than yours, but also significantly more smooth. I don't really give a shit about managing an inventory. Down off that soapbox. The inventory system is truly an unholy disaster for anyone who wants to play more than one build on one character and discard the overwhelming majority of options. And note, I'm not even going into things like we need a loot filter, we need an inventory search bar where we don't just click through all the little things like we do in the skills page. We should have an actual filter where we can go through. Like, this inventory with all the little things just smashed together is awful. The amount is like just the surface level of my concerns. There should be a loot filter allowing us to filter for particular things that we want. There should be like search bars. Like, these things just should be in a game like this. This should not be this hard to navigate. If you want a perfect example of how it is done, look at Warframe with mods. It is a beautiful, beautiful example of how you can approach this. I really cannot emphasize the difference. Anyhow, moving forward. Actually, no, fuck that. I played Warframe for years, but the main fun for me is going to be the different builds, trying new mods, seeing what I can do, telling me, of all people, to just discard things here and there, when most things like the hearts and the legendary aspects are one-time, one-use things, and when you use them, you can't use them again. That's like actively squatting over my fun and taking a massive Taco Bell dump on it. That is horrible to me. Now, if you want a smaller bag, then by all means limit yourself. But just because you want to do the video game equivalent of a gastric bypass surgery does not mean that I want to. And I have not heard a single person. I have talked literally to hundreds of people about this. I have not heard one say that they want a smaller inventory or that they think that this current stash and inventory system is fine. I haven't heard one other than that one dude, and whatever. Now, the final point in Diablo 4 for me, which is what is really pushing me away, is that all these points accumulate together, is that it's feeling more like an annoying inventory management simulator than an action game. Everything feels slow, everything feels tedious, it does not feel actiony. Hate me if you want, but that's how this season of the irritation feels. It's not an interesting game design decision to force me to pause. Like, it's just like, okay, a thing just blew up in a bunch of loot. Pause, everyone hold. Oh my god, everyone hold. And then when I'm playing, I either need to decide, do I pick up the loot that doesn't fit in my bag, which I've been erring to do more often, just leave it on the fucking ground, or do I stop what I'm doing mid-dungeon in an ARPG, teleport, run to a blacksmith, which is tedious and annoying for a billion reasons, run to my stash, which is in Narnia, away from them, stash my gems, and then run back to the portal just to continue? This breaks the game flow. And I'm not trying to come across as preachy myself, but this should be obvious to anyone, respectfully. My computer has over 64 gigabytes of RAM. A lot of resources in people's computers. You can give us more bag slots in the bag that we're carrying around. And for people who want to have a limited inventory, I think just like hardcore is a mode that you can select when you make your character finder or duty finder, so that we can actually make groups. Because I want to still maybe even play as a support druid. Like, I think that that would be much more interesting, but until there's like a party finder or a duty finder, it's going to be irritating as shit to get a group. And currently I have no friends that are still playing Diablo 4 because all of them looked at the season and were like, meh, but I held true to my promise. Anyhow, here are my thoughts on it, and I know that unfortunately this is going to piss off a lot of people, but I'm just being honest. And so hopefully you don't hate me too much, and more Final Fantasy 14 content coming up because I can't stomach D4 anymore.